Now, you may be thinking, well, I'm not sure I know exactly how to do this. Well, I want to give you some examples to help you with this. I want you to see examples of what a good story sounds like. Now, these stories you're going to hear today are real. They're real people right here in our church. And basically, we gave them the same challenge I'm giving to you. We just came to them a couple of weeks ago, and we said, hey, work on your story and tell us your story. And I want you to listen to these. And as you do, I want you to listen for those three parts: the before Jesus, the encounter with Jesus, the after Jesus. I want you to listen for those phrases. I want you to notice that they're short, that they're humble. But the most important thing is I want you to see who's the hero of this story. Let's watch this together.
Before I totally committed my life to Jesus, I'd always gone to church and thought I had everything together. Funny but true, sometimes God needs us to commit to Him and put our trust in Him totally. At a tragic point in my life, I realized that and gave Him total control of my life. Since that time, even though my life is not perfect, I have a friend who is always constant, always loving, and always patient with me every step of the way.
Growing up, I didn't understand what the point of church was. I did all the religious activities, yet all that stood out was the fear of going to hell. Eventually, my dad took us to a new church where I was amazed that I actually understood the message. God was looking for me. His son, Jesus, came to earth to die for me. I was baptized, and since then it's been quite a life. Some downs, but plenty of ups. The life and love Jesus has for me gives me strength every day to serve and love others.
Growing up, my family didn't really talk much about Jesus, but demonstrated some of his characteristics, along with some of the opposite characteristics. I cared about people, but only until they disappointed me, and would usually distance myself afterward. When Jesus became the focus, I saw that people weren't a means to an end, but a part to a bigger whole. Doing life with him has made life better. Not easier, but definitely better.
Lost in darkness, full of hatred and anger, I despised the world and everyone in it. I tried the church thing before, however, I was just going through the motions. I wouldn't open myself up to God, figured He needed to fix my life first. Then one day, Jesus showed me that I was what needed to be fixed. After fully submitting to God and opening myself up to growth and change, I began to embrace people. I went from surviving life to living it.
I grew up in the church knowing Christ, but I struggled with trying to be perfect. Over the years, He's truly helped me with my holier-than-thou attitude and revealed that I'm not perfect, nor do I have to be. Today, I am grateful that I'm not the judge or jury and can love myself and others where we are without any judgment.
My whole life, I felt like I was not enough to be loved, so I followed other people looking for acceptance and ended up getting hurt multiple times, which just reinforced the idea that maybe I was not worthy. Then someone from church suggested I read the book of John and focus on Jesus. That's when I learned how much He loves me, that He was willing to give His life for me. In His eyes, I am worthy. Now, because of Jesus, I know what love really looks like.
Well, if you're a follower of Jesus here today, the one thing that I hope that you came away from that video from it, the one thing that I hope that you would say to yourself after hearing those stories is this: I can do that. I mean, I think I can do that, because the truth is, you can. You really can do this. And I so hope that each and every one of us will do it, because this is worth it. It matters so much. Guys, if we're going to be a church who blesses the world around us, blesses our community, we got to figure this out. This has to be a part of our strategy to bless our community. How can they believe in Him if they've never heard? And how can they hear if nobody tells them?